Hey, Air here. Gonna give you guys a tour of Boylston. I'm dressed in my winter clothes because all of a sudden it's winter. We're gonna start outside though because you can see we've got some signage up there. The lights, I'm still missing some work as they're a little bit falling down. But you can see here we have letters affixed to the windows. And I'll see if I can get a better view of these. They're like acrylic that we've cut out and mounted on the window. And that looks like it's glowing a little, but it's not really. I think it's gonna look great. And the black on the windows is all coming off, so these will all be totally clear and it'll be pretty bright and beautiful in there. Sorry, there's a car out there making a lot of noise. Coming into the restaurant now, we're going to look, there's a lot of things done. So underneath this cardboard, we have our floor. And if you've been watching these for a while, you might remember this whole space was, it used to be Globe Restaurant, then it was redone by Honey Grow, Mini Grow about a year ago, a little more than a year ago. And so we didn't want to throw out all the work that they had done. That seemed like a bad idea to us. So we were trying to work with this design to get ourselves to a Clover space, but without wasting too much. So these floors, it's really, really cool. We were working with a contractor, a subcontractor who, they used to be, they're wooden floors. They were nice mahogany wooden floors, but we didn't want the mahogany color. So he bleached this and then he put a gray stain on them. So they have like a little bit of redness, but it's like a gray finish. They really came out beautifully, I think. And the reason we don't want them to be a deep red is I think it might conflict with the wood that we have. So we're using this beautiful oak, just like you'll recognize in a lot of Clover restaurants. And we didn't want the floors to be competing with that. So I think that the gray will be a really nice background. The piece I was just picking up right there, that's a window table, and there's two of them. There's going to be one here and one there. And they're not going to have chairs. We have pretty limited seating here, but it's going to be an area that you can stand and drink a coffee or something like that. And none of this black paint will be here. So we have windows here, and then here, and here, and here. It's all windows, and it's going to be a gorgeous view onto Copley Square. So I think it's going to be a really beautiful entrance to the space. Going to look now at our wall here to the right. So if you've been watching these, this used to be very, very rough. I think when Mini Grow, Honey Grow came in, they did like a texturized wall. We didn't like that look so much. So we had somebody skim coat over that, which is a lot of work. So by hand, somebody has to put all this plaster on and then smooth it out. So it's super, super smooth. And then it got painted. We did another thing. We took the painting line up higher. So it used to come down to here and it gave this impression that the ceiling was lower than it is. But this is a really nice high ceiling here. So we brought the white up much higher. We have black on the ceiling and we have soundproofing tiles up there, which are doing an amazing job. I suspect it'll still get noisy in here when it's very full, but it's going to be much quieter than the other restaurants. As soon as they put those tiles in, you could really hear the difference. Over here, we're going to have an installation, but it's not going to be there opening day. So opening day, we'll have this, this will all be just white brick, as you see here. You might know, Clover, we often have something written up on one of the walls when we first opened to introduce what we are and what we're doing to the people in the neighborhood. I tried to come up with what we're going to do at this one and figure out where it goes. We might put it up on that wall, or we might put something up on this wall. I'm just going to walk you through. There'll be a big table here. That'll be the last thing to come in, so it's all ready to go, but we don't want to get it dinged or anything like that, so we're leaving it out right now. You can see that they've staged these TVs. I bet they're putting them up tomorrow. These TVs are going to go up right there. These TVs are going to go up right on that wall, and they're going to be our menu screens. And so as a customer, you'll walk in this way, and to the right of you will be a big community table with beautiful lights hanging down. If you've seen the lights at Finn or Hi-Fi, you've seen what we're going to be doing here. And then as you come over here, this is where the Clover guides will be. We're also going to have some kiosks here in time, so that's something we're expecting and building for. And then right here, we have a grab-and-go cooler. It was really hard to find one that was not sticking out too much, but I think this came out really well. I'm really excited about it, and I think there's enough space right here to be comfortable. You can see we have the wooden counter right here. They've got some protective materials on it, but it's a really, really beautiful finish on this oak. And right here you can see our retail shelving. So we're selling more and more of books that we love, by authors we love, and other and foodstuffs that we make or others that we love make. And so this is going to be a place that we can do that. It's a really nice size retail shelf, which I'm super excited about. I think it's going to be really great for us. And then this will be the area that you stand to receive your food. I'm going to turn this way, and you can see these walls are finished, which is the first time, I think the first time they've been finished on one of these tours. Bathrooms are all finished, except the light's not turning on in there. A lot of the equipment's in the kitchen. Some of it's hooked up, some's not. You can see some of it's not quite hooked up yet. You can see our hood right there, ready to go. And I'm going to walk over this way a little bit. There are a lot of new things in our drink area, which I'm super excited about. I'm not going to take the tour of those today, partly because they have plastic on them, so I think it's a little bit hard to see. But maybe I'll do another tour once that's a little bit further along so you can see that stuff. I'm just going to come into the restaurant here. The floor is beautiful. It's, I think, really the best floor we've had installed in one of the restaurants. I feel really excited about that. And back here, you can see Mini Grow, Honey Grow is a little differently designed than Clover Restaurant. We usually don't have any back of house or part of the kitchen you can't see. So if I were redesigning this, I would take those bathrooms and I'd put them way at the back, and I'd have the kitchen open more. But we were trying to work with what we had. So you can see there's sandwich stations here and sandwich stations there. And so that's an improvement of what we usually have in our restaurants in terms of capacity. But we've also added 2 sandwich stations here, which will allow us to do more catering and allow us to do more delivery, which we're very excited about. This refrigerator here just barely fits. This took a lot of work for us to find a refrigerator that would fit. You can see it just fits right there. It's not pushed in all the way yet, but it will be. And you can see our oven right here. It's our Moffett oven. Back here we have dishwashing and stuff like that, and an ice machine. And you can see the very, very important water filtration system. I'm going to walk to the front of the restaurant again and show you a couple more things. A big change in this restaurant is we don't have an oven up here. Usually we have ovens up by the sandwich stations that we use to heat our bread. We're going to try a new thing here. We've been testing for the past year a toaster oven and as a way of heating the bread. And I think we're getting wonderful results. If anybody's eaten at the Hub, they've probably experienced that. So we're bringing that to this restaurant, which I'm very excited about. You can see our ice bin under here. This is the coffee station. In recent restaurants, we have had like beer towers there. And this one we're not. So it's going to be like a really clean line and more of a focus on the coffee, which I'm really excited about. I think it'll be really fantastic. We also have a bigger drink station than we've ever had, and we have some new piece of equipment we haven't had before. So we're very excited about how that all works. Getting ready for selling lots and lots of coffee, lots and lots of tea. Here we have a water bottle filling station. So it's a little different approach than what we've done in the past to water, but I think it's going to be really great. We're trying to encourage people with this to bring their own bottles rather than use cups, single-use cups. And you can see there's like a Wendy's cup right there. That's what we want to try to get away from. We really want to move people away from single use. You know, that's plastic right there, that Wendy's, which is just a disaster for the environment. And Clover uses compostable cups, which is a much better choice, but it's still not great. The better thing is just not to have single use. It's a terrible idea for us to make something out of plastic or even compostable plastic and then use it one time. So what we're going to do is, you can see some shelving here. We're going to have a range of cups available at all different price points. So we're thinking about having some really inexpensive reusable plastic containers up to some really gorgeous ceramic mugs that might cost $30 or $40. But having a range of different options and trying to encourage people to move away from single use and for beverages. And I'd love someday to get that to all of what you do in a restaurant, but I think beverages is probably a really great place for us to start. One more thing I'm going to point out, I know it's a little bit of a long tour, but a lot has happened. This is a speaker, and we've been installing these EV speakers. These are like sort of concert grade sound systems at our recent restaurants. And when you have a really big, beautiful speaker like this, you can actually get wonderful audio without turning the volume up too much. And we have deliberately spaced it down away from the ceiling so that we won't transmit too much sound to the tenant above. I think that was a complaint that they had with the previous installation. There was speakers up on the ceiling, which is really common to do, but they said too much sound came through. So that's going to be it for today. I'm going to leave you guys there. We'll give another tour when it's all the way done. Construction is going to be substantially done early next week, but permitting is getting delayed by the holidays. So we don't expect to be able to actually open for business until the 10th of December. So we will announce that date for everybody. I know you're all waiting patiently. We are too. Like I said, we're going to be done with construction tomorrow or the next day, but we won't have the permits we need in order to operate the restaurant until a couple weeks from now. I think it's going to take like 3 weeks. But we're excited. I'll share another video when this is all polished up and finished.